we are going in a couple of days to be in Salt Lake City. And we go there with a clear understanding of the scope of the task before us, regardless of our event. It will not be easy to make a push for winning. All we can and must require of ourselves is to make the best push that we can. Here's the thing. I have gone to a lot of nationals competitions. Taken a lot of teams to nationals. I've taken rebate teams to nationals. And I got debaters deep from my rebate teams. Every time I took them, I got debaters deep. Quarters, semis, never finals. Never won it, let alone losing the finals. So, I go there on a long history of a couple of things. One, disappointments. But remember, everybody who enters that tournament, in that event, ends the tournament disappointed except for one entry. Every other, there are how many people in pub four? 150? 150 entries? How many?
154.
154 entries. That's 300 middle schoolers. Every single one of them will leave that tournament disappointed except for two.
First and second? No.
First place. The first place entry.
Oh, first place.
The team that wins first place will leave that tournament fully satisfied. Every other team in that tournament will leave with some, at least, tiny measure of disappointment. Now, if Winston and Allison get beat in semifinals as fifth graders, I don't think they should feel even the smallest speck of disappointment. But I bet if they got that far, I would hope they'd be thinking, well, shit, we could win this. Right? That's what I'd be thinking. All of a sudden things got real. And then when you lose that final round, or that semifinal round, it hurts. Doesn't matter whether you think it, wow, I can't believe we got this far or not. That loss hurts. That loss will stick with you for years if either of the following things happen. If you lose it because you made a boneheaded mistake of some kind that you would have not made had you worked through some of these things a little harder. Or number two, especially if there's some legitimate call for injustice in the judging. But those things are, the latter of those things is out of our control, except to the extent that it is in our control, which means I don't want to see what happened to David Dosh in Dallas happen to anybody in this room. Because David Dosh and Azad were screwed for why? Because they were not polite enough in the round. And in fact, they were rude. And what I am telling you now is not to go in there and say, F you, judge, that's not what you're supposed to judge on. I'm telling you, go in there and kiss their effing ass, all right?
That's right.
Oh, judge, most majestic and wondrous of judges, I am honored to be in thy judgely presence. Okay? I do not want to see on any ballot. Hey, I don't want to see on any ballots you guys were rude. Because to me, if they say that, then you were not being rude very well. You need to be more successfully rude so they won't be able to nail it down. They won't be able to nail you down to rudeness. I have no problem with you expressing your rudeness. You just have to know exactly the line to toe. Remember at all times, you are expressing your rudeness at that horribly stinky idea, right? You want to try to position it like this. Well, I know my opponents here are are fine and wonderful people. You know, I love them to death. They're great. I have nothing wrong with my opponents. It's their argument that's Hitler, not them. I'm not trying to say they're bad. It's their argument that's bad. It's an atrocity upon humanity. It all gels at the end. For those of us who are pretty far along, we need to make sure that when we gel tomorrow in our final day, that we understand what we've just done. So when you say to yourself, okay, what needs to happen for this to sound right? What needs to happen for this to feel right? What needs to happen for the arguments to be right? What needs to happen so that the words I say become indisputable truth, an iron wall that cannot be breached by the enemy? If I ask you a question like this, don't you think that people have the right to fresh food and water? Are you crazy? A lot of debaters, even now, even some of the more experienced ones, but not usually the 8th graders, but they'll go, well, no, I'm not saying that. That's how I turn that question right back around on them. Say, of course not. I mean, if that's the case, then who would be violating my rights if I were to die of thirst? If I just chose to sit in the middle of the floor and not drink any water? Would it be you? Do you have the obligation to pour water down my throat? Who has that obligation? You turn that shit on them, right? People will try to make claims and throw them before you. Remember, when your opponents make a claim, you're going to evaluate the claims they lay down. And most of the time, when your opponent is making a claim, what are they doing? They're walking right up to you, Catherine, and saying, here, put some trash on your table.
Here.
Here, you throw this away. You throw it away. It's not my problem anymore. It's my claim, but I said it, now you're stuck with it. That's what they want to do. That's what their job is, to try to stick you with their claims. But you know what it is? Their claims are a bunch of trash on your table. And they are being very, very rude when they leave their claims upon your floor. It's garbage. They're leaving rancid, foul garbage upon your table. And I need you to hate that garbage with an intense passion that causes you to destroy it so that at the end of the round, all the garbage has been incinerated and all that's left are your gleaming truths. Edmund Bo Bedman. Evan, go stand outside. You're
You're
on
remembering.
timeout.
I'm
Hey,
remembering.
Evan, act like a baby. Get a timeout. Go.